Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. It is this week's Astro Oracle reading, but before I do the reading, have you taken my quiz yet? Mark, what's it called?
How intuitive are you at reading oracle cards?
How intuitive are you when reading oracle cards? It's a fun quiz. Take it. You could take it every day even because it'll tell you how on or how close you are every day to your intuitive gifts. So check it out, and now let's go for the reading. And we're going to start with Aries. And for those of you who are new, you're going to want to take a look at your sun sign, then your ascendant, then your moon. That's the way I read them. So you'll end up with 9 cards today. If you don't know what your ascendant is or your moon, just go to astro.com, put in your birth date. It'll tell you everything how to do. And then you're going to have the info and come back and watch it. And don't forget to watch yesterday's collective video too, because I did a whole reading on the month, which is kind of a mixed bag. So May is a mixed bag. So here we go. Astro Oracle for this week for Aries. For Aries. Okay, so Aries, this is about the week that you have to really take a look at your, sorry, I have to look, my husband's pointing at me, his little moon in Virgo is, move the cards down. Anyhow, okay, so commitment, that's really key. This is a week for you to pay attention to one specific thing. Make sure you make the commitment to whatever it is that you're doing. And remember, in order to move something forward, you have to clean house. So you may have some clutter internally, which means in your head, or actual things in your environment, no matter what, or even like, say, even in a project, you might need to declutter the project. So simplify. I've been simplifying my music. I've been writing music this week. So it's like, oh, let's take that out. Too many vocals, right? Simplify. The week for Aries is simplify. And then this one here, magical map shifter in the protection position, which really means that you might hear information that from a trusted source that you don't agree with. Trust your intuition on this one, but truthfully, you might not want to hear what you're hearing, which is in your highest good. So listen anyway. Okay, that's for Aries. Now let's do Taurus. Okay, here we go. Now, let's see. This is for Taurus. There we go. Taurus, stuck in the mud, making a choice, and bone collector and protection. This is, wow, these are interesting cards. So for Taurus, this is a week that you might think you're stuck, but you're not really stuck. I always find that when stuck in the mud shows up, it is a reminder that to slow down and to actually stay put. That if you're feeling stuck, it could be that you're not meant to be moving forward too quickly, right? So consider that before you push forward. It also could be that you might be wallowing in something that you want to let go of. Okay, you could be really scared about making a choice because the making the choice card follows this one. So the truth is you have to make some kind of choice. You can't sit at the crossroads of your life forever. And the bone collector tells you that you have unfinished business with the past. When she's in the protection position, she says, hey, there's some things that you need to go back and look at, hence why you are stuck. You feel stuck this week because you're meant to actually really slow down and assess yourself this week. And then from your assessment, then you can make a choice. But don't just jump into things because you're going to have a brick wall at you if you feel like you're pushing forward too quickly. Now we're going to get more information, obviously, as you look at your ascendant and your moon. Now let's take a look at Gemini. And by the way, thank you so much, especially the astrology nerds that are writing in and saying how much you're enjoying this, because it is very different, but why can't oracles go hand in hand with the astrology? Why not, right? It's all about reading energy. So Gemini is having to take care. So for Gemini this week, sorry, Mark, my Virgo moon husband is pointing at me again because I'm not putting the cards in the right place, but he's got a nice big screen, so I know what I'm doing. Okay, one ring, circus, and protection. You could walk into this week feeling a bit lonely or that you don't know your terrain, and in fact you don't. Into the unknown is in protection, which is about, not taking too many risks this week, but being encouraged by that. Like it's that sense of feeling sensitive too this week, that you might feel isolated and alone. So this is about reaching out, connecting, loving other people, etc., and not worrying so much that you don't know the terrain, right? This is, you don't have to have all the answers this week, Gemini. If anything, it's reaching out to your friends and family and people that you love and staying a little insular, but not isolated. There's a big difference. Okay, now let's look at Cancer. Cancer. That's me. If your moon is in Cancer, if your rising is Cancer, if your sun sign is Cancer, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Okay, so for Cancers. Strength, yay. Participating in your own rescue, and you may not also like what other people have to say. Okay, so typically the Strength card comes in when you really feel like you have the fortitude to get things done, okay? I love the Rescue card because you may actually be helping somebody this week that really needs your help, and it also indicates that you are doing your own personal rescue. You're not looking for somebody else to do it for you. You have the strength to do that. And this is always an interesting card, the Magical Map Shifter, in the protection position, because yet again, it's like getting information from somebody you trust and believe in that doesn't feel like, you know, maybe you want to choose A and they go, you know, it's better to choose B, but you know, I want A looks better. But they say, you know, B is better for you. And you don't like it because A looks better. So this is that same kind of thing that somebody could be talking to you as well, and you're hearing it. Now, the other thing that I'm noticing specifically this week, and I'm just going to say it because of the month reading that I did, that you guys have all seen, is that you have to think for yourself, okay? Very, very important. Think for yourself, right? Don't drink the Kool-Aid. You can sip it, all right? But just remember, you have to be a discerning human and really, really think for yourself too. Don't just take whatever is told to you at face value. Sometimes you do, but this is a month where we've got a lot of mixed bag of things that are going on for all of us this month. So just remember, think for yourself. And that could also be why the Magical Map Shifter keeps showing up upside down for a lot of people's readings. I think it did last week too. Now let's look at Leo. Okay, here we go, Leo. Leo, coming apart, some separation for you. What does it mean? Oh, this is good. So what's the separation? The next two cards tell us a little bit more about what that means. So coming apart is very, very positive for you because you are unlearning some things. So looking at your life and saying, you know what, I used to think that this was the way it was, but I'm realizing now it's this way. This is good. So I'm able to undo some things this week, Leo, which is excellent. A gentle gardener in the protection position is go weed your garden. It's also really quite an interesting reading as well too, because coming apart typically isn't just about yourself, right, and letting things go for you, but it's also about letting other people go. So if anybody has projected onto you in any way, whatever, trying to make you responsible for them, this is not the week for you to take that on. If anything, you're learning that your boundaries are sacred, and that sometimes people throw weeds over the fence into your garden, and right, so that is also possible for this week for Leos as well too, so you're going to want to pay attention to that. Pull out the weeds, yes, but remember, what is yours, and what is other people's is other people's. So, okay, and it's good. It's really a good week to let go what doesn't work. Now let's take a look at Virgo. So for you, Virgo, you may need to take a break. And why I say that is because Deep Freeze is a center card. And it represents winter and gestating ideas and dreaming, etc. But it also indicates things that can't come to fruition in the moment. You might feel that the kind of slowing down that you need to do is just also out of exhaustion. So this is when the talisman card is in the protection position or upside down, it's like, hey, how often do you have to learn the same lesson? So you don't want to learn the same lesson, basically, so put it on ice. So it's like, I have somebody in my life that says, I'm going to put a pin in it. And that's for Virgos this week, put a pin in it. And come together is usually about community, but this is like, I need a break from people. So Virgos, you might actually say, you know what, I think I really kind of need to go for a walk in the woods alone. That kind of feeling this week, that you're kind of overwhelmed with other people's stuff and whatever. And even overwhelmed by all your own ideas and things that your big to-do list, because Virgos are list makers. Well, I mean, that's a blanket statement, but every Virgo I know is a list maker. So also remember that you kind of need to give yourself a break from even your own head. So beautiful break week for you Virgos, or Virgo rising, or Virgo moon. Husband is a Virgo moon.
Yes,
Break time.
Oh boy.
Break time. I'll have to see what your first reading was. Okay, here we go. Libra. Libra is next. Deep freeze for Libra too. And look, I shuffled the cards. Come together in protection and magic prayer in protection. You're not going to get what you want this week, Libra, and that has to be okay. So, and when I say that, you will get what you need. So the deep freeze is also, I need a break. I have to slow things down. I can't be as active as I want to be. And maybe that's better for me. Maybe I need to kind of step away. Like this is like step away from social media, step away from, just step away from the barrage of information that's coming at you. And that's for Libras, because you can't find the beauty in it. And then magic prayer and protection is, say you've prayed for something to happen for somebody and it doesn't happen, then you think that your prayers didn't work. But oftentimes we just don't understand the nature of our relationship to spirit. And it's not Santa Claus doling out a present if you were good and punishing you if you were bad. So it's redeveloping a different relationship to your higher power, and getting back into prayer and meditation too. You might have fallen off the wagon a little bit with this, but bottom line is that this is also a break week for you. For Libras, and I am Libra rising, so that is not always possible, but I do know I need breaks, and I don't always take them. Okay, here we go. Scorpio. Let's see. Okay, peaks of joy. You're not trusting your celebratory nature. Okay, so Peaks of Joy, it's one of my most favorite new cards that we redesigned. Peaks of Joy is all about joy, right? We know this, Peaks of Joy. But when it's in the protection position, it may be you don't trust your joy. It could be that you're redefining what joy means to you. It could be that you also need a little bit of a break, that your joy will come when you move away from the things that you've been doing on an automatic pilot. Education is the second card. It's learning about, giving yourself permission to feel joyful and celebratory in spite of the fact that things are changing. And movement indicates there is things you've already set in motion are changing. Could even be a house move, although that's like a blanket thing to say to every single Scorpio on the planet watching this video. But it is about movement in your life that comes from your willingness to redefine what joy means to you, that you don't have to have joy only with the absence of turmoil, because that's not possible for any of us right now. So it's kind of understanding the nature of both and Scorpio, the depth, you're very deep and complex, etc. And so this is kind of your wheelhouse, really, about redefining that for yourself. As we all enter this transformative time. I read a really interesting article about something called transformation immunity or change immunity, where there's a desire on one hand to change. We know but the other part of us goes, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. So this tremendous resistance that comes up, like, I'm not doing that. Like your own immune system fights the desire for change, which actually happens, by the way, in metamorphosis. When the imaginal cells that wake up in the caterpillar, there's only a small percentage of them. Well, they trigger the immune system to kill off all the caterpillar cells in order to replace them with the butterfly cells, right? So that gives you new ones. And so that's like this immune response. Similar in a way, but we can shift our thinking. So that's kind of what I think is going on this month for everybody, to be honest. Now let's take a look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, excellent. So Sag, the way that you can get into flow because magic stream is in the protection position, which means you could feel a little bit out of flow, or you feel like you've got cotton batting in your head, is to clean house and to really do that amends list and realize, like, who do I have to make amends to, and where am I taking responsibility for something that's not mine to take responsibility for? Because that's often the case when these two cards go together, is like, wait a sec, this person is upset with me, therefore it's my fault. Not necessarily, right? You have to remember that that's not always the case. The case could be that somebody's projected onto you. It's really important to discern what is yours and what is not yours to fix. So Sag, this is the week to identify that. And that's when you're out of flow, is when you're taking on too much responsibility. Philosophically, you're thinking like, and you're the great thinker, you know, it's like, oh, how do I'd like harmony, please. And then the adventure, I'd like to learn this, and what's my adventure going to look like? But you'll get back into flow when you do this. Clean up and realize what is yours and what is not yours to own. And I think about my dearest friend who's crossed over to the other side, Doug. And we talked a lot about that all the time. He was a Sagittarius. And we talked about that desire to make peace at all costs when it even isn't to do with us. So we had long talks about that. Okay, here we go. Now let's look at Capricorn. Capricorn. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so Capricorn, you start off with coming to life in the protection position, and that's about you being uncomfortable with the fact that you can't define the form of your intentions and how they're going to play out because the intention card's beside it. When the truth is that if you let go, like an artist, for example, creates the sculpture, but the sculpture tells you what it's going to look like. You might think you know what's going to come out of the stone, but in fact, the stone tells you. That's right. So it actually dictates to you what it's going to look like. So allowing that process of creativity to lead you this week will be fantastic. And then the gentle gardener says, I will bring life to whatever you plant. Whatever it is, whatever intention that you place in me, in the soil of your field of dreams, I will ensure its imminent growth. You can let go and leave it to me. So this is a really beautiful week for Capricorns to make some, it's to kind of reclaim your creativity and your intention setting, and realize you do have a vision for your life. Yeah, it's not going to, you can't make other people have the same one as you, but you sure can have yours. And when you have the integrity of that and you release the form of it, the essence that you want, then that's when spirit walks in and takes over if you let it. Now, Aquarius, let's take a look at Aquarius. That way everything is a surprise and everything's a gift. That's how I see life. Okay, so movement is blocked for Aquarius this week, and that is actually a good thing. So you are looking at the past, because the talisman is what you have learned from the past. You are recognizing the need for separation from what you have learned. And so in other words, you are no longer willing to participate in things and in relationships and in, whatever it is, in jobs, etc., that are not in alignment with you and not for the best of everybody. So you're looking at yourself going, you know what, I'm not sure this is for me anymore. And that's okay. That's a really important place to be in. And recognizing that there is loss in some areas of your life that will be replaced with something better. You just don't see that some days. And so this is a week, if that's your case, if something has come up for you that you have to let go of or that has been taken from you, you may not see the silver lining, or you may not see the meaning of it, because sometimes there's no silver lining. Like certainly there was no silver lining with some of the people I lost this year, but there was deep meaning in it. And that's what our job is to be meaning makers. And movement is blocked, and that's okay. So you don't have to be going too fast forward. That little ding happened. That must mean something good. I must be onto something. Now let's take a look at Pisces. Last but not least, we have Pisces. Okay, protecting treasure for beautiful Pisces, encouragement and solitude. So This is also, but it's a different type of break week for you, Pisces. This is about encouraging a time out in order to protect yourself and in order to protect what you have created for yourself. The new self that is still very vulnerable needs protecting. So this is a time where you can be vulnerable, and when you say the divine protection is built in because strength comes out of vulnerability, but at the same time, you're not going to open yourself up to the entire world and planet until you've integrated whatever it is that you're going through right now. You have beautiful encouragement from others, from your environment, from spirit, from your spirit guides, etc. That's really nice. And solitude is about meditation in this case. So we're looking at you taking some time to meditate and to regroup a little bit, Pisces. That's what it says for you this week. Okay. Now we have our Astro Oracle. Mark, I think you have something that you want me to tell people.
Yeah, it's
What is it?
The quiz.
The quiz. Don't forget the quiz. How intuitive are you at reading oracle cards? It's super fun. We show you a bunch of pictures. Basically, you're supposed to guess what they mean. And that's a way to help you integrate and start to activate the part of your right brain that understands symbolism and the language of symbolism. So it's super magical. It's not just your average quiz. It's going to do something for you while you do it. So it's super cool. Hey, YouTube, subscribe to my channel. When you click on that, then the little bell is going to come up. When you click on the bell, that means you're going to get a notification when these videos are arriving, and that'll be fantastic. Please like my video, leave a comment. We love to read them, and don't forget to take that quiz. So check it out. Love you lots, and see you next time. Take care.